Welcome back to the PNC Live Studio here at KINK, and welcome back to Portland on this chilly November day. But you're from Montreal. Well, you're from Ottawa originally, but you live in Montreal now. Is that accurate?
That is completely accurate.
So this must feel downright balmy to you. This is comfortable to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah.
Somebody talked me into going to, I was living in Atlanta at the time, and some friends talked me into going to Montreal the week between Christmas and New Year's. Oh, my God.
Your friend?
Yeah, I know. We're not friends anymore. I've never experienced cold like that.
Yeah, frenemy.
Why
Frenemy invitation right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful city, but
it gets
my
worse.
goodness.
In February, it gets worse.
My tears froze.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
No, you get a little like icy beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
So it's a bilingual city. Do you speak French? Parlez-vous français?
Ben oui.
Are you
parlez français aussi?
I took 4 years in high school and college, but I barely can find a bathroom.
Wow.
In Paris.
I understand you perfectly.
So are you fluent?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
My
pretty
mom's
cool.
French Canadian. My half of my mom's side is French Canadian. So.
Very nice. I respect people that are bilingual. That impresses me a great deal.
Oh.
Let's talk about the new album. It's called Revelation, and if I have this correct, you wrote a lot of it or all of it during the pandemic.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you find inspiration when you're stuck at home all by yourself to write music?
Well, I think a lot of artists that I knew were secretly texting each other, being like, I don't know about you, but this is so nice.
I have heard that from so many artists.
But don't tell anyone,
Yeah.
And it's like, but every artist I know, and so, I mean, being quiet, nobody does it anymore.
And for artists that are on the road so many months out of the year to have a break.
Yeah, it was funny because I was supposed to be, right before the pandemic, I was actually here. And we were doing a tour, and then I was like, oh, I want to write all these songs. I have these new songs I'm thinking about, but I'm going to be on the road for a year. And I remember thinking, it's kind of bad. I thought, if they told me I had to stay home this year, I wouldn't mind. It was really freaky, and then it's
so
my
it's
fault.
Because of you.
I know.
Leif Vollebekk, thanks a lot.
But I thought it was only going to last like a few months. Remember at the beginning?
Well,
they were like,
originally we thought like 2 weeks. I remember going to the grocery store here, Fred
Yeah.
Meyer, and loading up on groceries for the 2-week, lockdown.
Yeah, the 2-week thing. So I remember like, oh, man, I better, get it. So and then it was like always extended a little, just a little. And so I was always like, oh, I'm going to really take advantage of this time. It was a really good time for writing. I mean, everything else was a bit crazy, but it's nice to be quiet.
Well, now I feel like a failure because all I did was learn how to make sourdough bread.
Oh, yeah, I was avoiding posting about cooking. I was like, because you'd be like, oh, I'm cool, and then you're like, I'd be like, I'm gonna wait a week and see if this becomes a trend before I like, and then it would be like everybody, like Timothy Chalamet's got his sourdough, and you're like, I'm so glad I didn't.
Oops.
Like I just want to you want to feel like you're not part of some sort of like giant wave of like inevitable like trends.
Not me. I'm a follower.
No, I didn't mean to say
follow
like
along.
that. No, I did it too. I just you didn't.
I know.
I don't. I just feel like I haven't gotten in trouble. I don't think Timothy Chalamet did bake sourdough bread.
Wonder what he did in the pandemic. Probably something constructive. Probably read books. Something silly like that.
I don't want to go this direction anymore.
So let's get back to the album, Revelation. Did I read that a lot of times a song comes to you in odd ways, sometimes in your dreams?
Well, just the one time.
Just the only happened once?
Just the one time, yeah.
That's a good story. Tell that story.
Well, it was so all the shows were canceled, and I was learning Led Zeppelin songs on the guitar because I was like, oh, what? And I was texting my friend Brad. I said, "What? This is so fun!" And when we get out of this, let's do a Led Zeppelin cover band and like rock out. We didn't do it, but I was learning rock and roll. I guess I went to sleep thinking about that song, and then I had this dream where Jeff Buckley sang it to me, but sang not that song, a completely different song. And I was in a rehearsal room with him, and I guess I was getting ready for tour or something. It didn't make any sense, and he just sang these lyrics, rock and roll, and showed me these chords. And when I woke up, I was like, oh, I love that we played Led Zeppelin. I was like, that's not Led Zeppelin. And I wrote it down, and it was this song, Rock and Roll. So which is on the record, yeah.
How convenient if you could do that all the time.
I know.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, I kept going to sleep, like, really stoked.
Come on, tonight.
It was just like, yeah. One time, Carl Jung, like showed, I had coffee with him in an airport, and like between flights kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like I'll come hang out with you between flights. Like you got a big layover, I'll hang out with you. And I was like, oh, thanks, Carl.
How sweet.
Yeah, and he but then he didn't have a lot much to say, but it was really nice. And then he like drew like a lake, like water pouring down a lake, and he was like, "What about this?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I woke up and like, "I don't know what that means."
Right.
Yeah.
So before I get out of the way, you've been a musician for a long, long time. When did you start playing guitar and piano? Like a little kid, right?
I was about just a boy, just a little.
Are you self-taught?
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
Kinda.
All the stuff I kept, I self-taught. You know, no. This is my grandpa's guitar right here.
Oh, that's cool.
So he played it when I was a little boy, and yeah, there's a picture of me like salivating over him playing it. Yeah.
But you went to college to study philosophy, right?
I did. I didn't. A lot of my friends went into music, and I hope I don't insult anyone. I will watch. I'm gonna.
Here it comes. Make sure the cameras are working.
Everybody just no. No, I just noticed that all my favorite artists didn't go. Like Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, they didn't go study music.
You probably didn't need it at that point in your life. I mean,
I don't know. I just was like, whether it's all my favorite artists, they weren't in university or college for music. They were always studying other things. So I thought, in a way, I thought, philosophy seems more helpful for. I don't know. I just really liked it.
And has it helped with your songwriting?
I don't know. It definitely like. Yeah, I
would think so.
it wasn't like that. I also was, the songs that I was writing were particularly bad at the time, and so I was trying to delay putting out music that was extra terrible. So I thought I could, like, do you know what I mean?
I guess.
Like, you're like, if you wrote poetry in like high school,
right?
And because you feel so strongly. I think Nietzsche said, but like when you're so convinced, you don't feel the burden of having to prove something. And so you actually do yourself a disservice. And so I think when you feel things strongly, you don't necessarily articulate, or you kind of maybe, you know what I mean? When you read,
you're very deeply full of it. I'm digging it. I love it.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, I think it's helpful to realize that you're not communicating what you're feeling if you're feeling it too strongly without, I don't know. Hard to explain without reading some high school poetry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the blue sun blows my mind. And then you're like, like they felt it, but you're not necessarily clear on how to receive that. I don't know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I like
you
that
do?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it so much, I'm just going to stop talking now and get out of the way. And we're going to play some more music.
Okay.
Leif Vollebekk, everybody.
I'm just insulting everybody. This is such a gorgeous piano, this little Steinway. I mean, it's not that pretty, but like sounding wise, I didn't mean to say it was ugly, but you know what I mean. You don't usually think, but it's a little upright. You don't play a lot of Steinway uprights. Yeah, down with Steinway. Yeah, who else? Who else is next? No one's safe.